Burger's Daughter stands as a political novel penned by South African author and activist Nadine Gordimer, first released in 1979. Deemed objectionable by the apartheid-era administration in South Africa initially, the narrative delves into the experiences of a cluster of white anti-apartheid campaigners within the country, united in their quest to dismantle the South African government. At the narrative's core resides Rosa, the white progeny of renowned activist and incarcerated political figure Lionel Burger. This tale is intrinsically woven with real individuals and occurrences that Gordimer herself observed during her activism in South Africa. Amid its pages, it explores themes of legacy, identity, authentic freedom, and the imperative of enduring hardship to effect change. Burger's Daughter stands as one of Gordimer's most celebrated compositions, regarded as vital reading for comprehending the apartheid era. Despite its prohibition within South Africa, the novel secured the prestigious 1980 Central News Agency Literary Award due to its release in the United Kingdom. Furthermore, in 2001, it was designated one of the top 10 South African books by The Guardian. The ban it endured gave rise to a 1980 companion volume titled What Happened to Burger's Daughter, or How South African Censorship Works. This compendium encompassed essays from Gordimer and others, shedding light on the implications of censorship in South Africa. The story unfolds in Johannesburg, South Africa, during 1974. Rosa, aged 26, receives news of her father Lionel Burger's demise in prison after serving 3 years of a life sentence for treason. Reflecting on her youth, she recalls the passing of her mother, Kathy, in prison when Rosa was only 14. Raised within a white household, she was well aware of her family's stance against the apartheid government. Their home was a haven for both white and black supporters of the cause. Throughout her formative years, she shared companionship with Basie, a young black boy of her age, informally adopted by the Burgers when his father was arrested and perished in prison. Rosa perceived Basie as her brother until their separation at age 9. Separated from Basie, she was dispatched to live with her paternal relatives, while he found refuge with friends, and over time, communication between them was severed. Both of her parents were affiliates of the outlawed South African Communist Party. Their allegiance to this organization eventually led to their detainment and imprisonment. Steadfastly aligned with her parents' convictions, Rosa anticipates encountering a similar fate herself. The Burger family residence, now laden with an excess of memories, feels overwhelmingly burdensome to her. In a decision driven by this sentiment, she opts to take up residence with Conrad, a fellow student who she befriended during her father's trial. Conrad exhibits keen curiosity about her role within the Burger family, prompting him to question her acquiescence to her parents' dictates. However, her discomfort in his company spurs her to relocate and establish her own apartment, taking on a role as a physiotherapist. In 1975, Rosa attends a gathering hosted by a friend in Soweto. Overhearing a black student's dismissive commentary about white anti-apartheid activists, her resolve falters. He asserts that their assistance is inconsequential, contending that white individuals can never fully grasp black individuals' true desires, and that only the black populace can genuinely liberate themselves. Seeds of doubt take root in her mind. Despite government suspicions regarding her association with her parents' activities, she manages to secure a passport, facilitating her departure from South Africa. Rosa relocates to Nice, France, dwelling with her father's former wife, Claudia. It's in this setting that she kindles a romance with Bernard Chabelier, a scholar from Paris. Under his influence, she returns home with him. Ahead of her departure to Paris alongside Bernard, she spends several weeks in London. Despite the stipulation that her passport necessitates her return to South Africa within a year, she no longer intends to comply. Now liberated, she embraces her identity as Burger's daughter, attracting media attention and morphing into a political symbol. During a public event, she unexpectedly encounters Basie, attempting to reconnect. However, he appears disinterested and reveals that he no longer identifies with that name. He introduces himself using his original name, Zwelinzima Volandlela, asserting his radical transformation. In a striking departure, he expresses that Rosa's father held no unique significance, as numerous black men met the same fate in prison. Rejecting Rosa's offered assistance, his refusal leaves her deeply shaken. The allure of her France-bound exile plan diminishes, prompting her to return to her role in Soweto. In 1976, Soweto becomes the epicenter of protests ignited by black schoolchildren. Swiftly escalating into riots, these incidents result in the loss of lives, including white welfare workers. The government reacts ruthlessly, suppressing the resistance with brutal force. The aftermath is marked by widespread casualties. In 1977, a wave of bans targets organizations critical of the white government. Subsequently, mass political arrests ensue, drawing Rosa into their vortex. She finds herself apprehended and charged with subversion, along with accusations of aiding and abetting the student-led revolt. Rosa's contemplation unveils a poignant realization: she has indeed followed her parents' path, as she anticipated, becoming a political prisoner. Nadine Gordimer, a South African writer and political activist, emerged as the recipient of the 1991 Nobel Prize for Literature. Her literary contributions predominantly centered on the apartheid era in South Africa, leading to the prohibition of several of her works within her homeland. In her later years, she played an active role in HIV/AIDS-related activism. Gordimer's literary repertoire encompasses 15 novels, in addition to a play, numerous collections of short stories, and poetry. She earned recognition in esteemed institutions such as the American Academy of Arts and Letters and the Royal Society of Literature. Furthermore, she was appointed as a commander of the French Ordre des Arts et des Lettres. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.